Hi, this is D.A. Wagner, Adobe Certified Lightroom Expert, and I'm going to show you how to use the Lightroom Rapid Editing System with PhotoTrace's landscape presets. After following the instructions for installing the presets and restarting Lightroom, make sure you're in the Develop module. This is where you're going to find the presets, and this is where they've been installed. Today, I'm going to start with this Hawaiian landscape. It's a typical landscape capture that's been exposed for the dramatic sky. However, exposing for this sky has made the rest of the overall image a bit dark. Using the Lightroom Rapid Editing System, we're going to balance the light and adjust the exposure. We're going to recover some shadow detail and increase the contrast. So let's get started. First, let's open up the PhotoTrace's Volume 1 Landscapes folder. And these are all of the presets that Victor has made. And I'm going to use a few of these presets that I have some familiarity with. And I'm going to start with Beyond the Reach, number 20. And that's just a little too contrasty for me. So I'm going to try number 14, Broken Clouds. There we go. And that's looking a little too yellow for me. So I'm going to just jump up here to number 1, Natural, and see how that feels. That looks very good, and actually, true to its name, Natural is doing exactly what I had hoped for, giving me that natural look. And at this point, I'm ready to close the PhotoTrace's Landscapes presets and start working in the toolkit to adjust my exposure, my contrast, open up my shadows, and maybe add a vignette. And that's because with the Lightroom Rapid Editing System, I've already got the look I wanted in seconds. So let's click through exposure. Number 1, and that's lightened it up a little bit. Number 2, that looks pretty good. Number 3, that's looking a little overexposed, too light. So I'm going to go back to exposure number 2, and that's better. So the shadows feel a little blocked up, and I want to open those up. They feel dark. So I'm going to try open shadows number 10 just to see what that looks like. That feels like it's a little too much. So I'm going to go to open shadows number 9, and that's much better. So I'm going to stay with that. And now for some mid-tone contrast with the clarity preset. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to number 16, and that just doesn't seem like it's enough. Let's take a look at 17. That feels better. Let's see what happens if I go to 18. That feels like a little too much. So I'm going to go back to 17. I'm going to stay there. And I think I'm done. I mean, I really like what I have here. I've got some nice contrast. I've opened up the foreground. The clouds look great. The background and the mountains are the right balance. So I think I've pretty much got what I came for here. And I'm going to stay with this. And I want to just add a little vignetting to bring my focus into the picture. And I'm going to scroll down here in my toolkit settings. And my favorite setting here for vignetting is the number 32 because it just gives me a little touch of vignetting. Maybe you didn't see that. So let me go back and set the vignetting to 0. And let me go back and click number 32 one more time. And now you can see what's happening there. So that's the vignetting. And now what I can do after I've finished developing this picture with the preset-based editing is to scroll back up to my presets panel, and next to the presets are 2 buttons, a minus and a plus. And the plus is for creating a new preset. If I click that once and choose check all, like that, which is going to just include everything from all of my settings, and give this preset a title, I'm going to just call this Natural. And I'm going to include the preset settings that I used, which was the exposure, which is 02, the open shadows, which is 09, the clarity, which is 17, and the vignetting, which is 32. And so when I click create like that, I am going to, you'll see it just jumped down here to the bottom. Under the user presets, I now have a preset that will apply all of these settings at once to any future pictures I wish to apply this preset-based editing formula. So let's just do a couple more of these images quickly. I'm going to select this image down here from California, And I'm going to close my presets for the toolkit, and I'm going to open up my landscapes one more time. And I'm going to choose the broken clouds that I had tried earlier on the Hawaii photograph, and I really like that. So we're going to just stay with that. I'm going to close it. I'm going to jump right to my toolkit, and I'm going to just do the exposure a little bit brighter by picking number 1. And then I'm going to go to the open shadows, and I'm going to really open these up. The foreground and also in the distance look a little blocked up. So I'm going to choose the number 9 open shadows. And that does it pretty well. And so I want to add some saturation, but to the colors that are not so saturated in this scene. So I'm going to choose vibrance. And I'm going to just use number 20. I'm going to just add a little more saturation here. And that's it. And then with this, I have another formula. So I just go right up here. I add a new preset, and I'm going to call this Broken Clouds. And I'm going to call this 01 for my exposure, 09 for the open shadows, and number 20 for vibrance. And this is going to get saved into my user presets one more time, and you'll see this jumps back down. And now I have 2 user presets, the natural one I created a minute ago, and now the broken clouds, which I've just made. And now finally, let's just take a look at this last photograph. Now this really looks like nothing, and this is where the preset-based editing is brilliant. When I pick just a few of the presets, and I'm going to just jump right back up here again, I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go back to my landscapes, and when I just do the Point Lobos preset, I get this fantastic result. And with the Lightroom Rapid Editing System, I mean, I've spent no time finding something that just brings out all the great features of this photo. I'm super pleased with that. So I'm not even going to do any more searching for another preset here. I'm just going to close this folder. I'm going to go to my toolkit, and I just want to make a few changes here. I'd like to open up my shadows. It got a little too contrasty, so I'm going to go to number 10 and just open my shadows just a little bit, and I'm just going to jump down to my vignetting right away. I'd like a nice subtle vignette. So I think I'm going to go to number 32. Again, that's my favorite. Just like that, add a little vignette, and I am done. One more preset-based formula to go here. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to call this Point Lobos, and I used number 10, and I used number 32 as my vignette. That's it. I'm going to select Create, and one more time. Now I've got 3 formula-based presets here that I can use in the future. And so that's the PhotoTrace's Lightroom Rapid Editing System with the landscape presets and making your own presets. And this is D.A. Wagner for PhotoTraces. Thanks for watching.